Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate the energy and keeping it up for our day 2 presentations. If I can please get all of my jury, my lovely dedicated jury members to make their way to their seats, we will get started here momentarily.
My name is Adelina Gross. I'm here representing the great city of Opa-locka today. And I think we have our first video that will introduce what our community looks like.
My connection to the city of Opa-locka is marriage. I married into the city.
I have been a resident of Opa-locka since 1975.
I was first introduced to this great city in 1976.
Mi conexión con Opa-locka es aquí vivo por más de 30 años.
September 17, 1957, hometown, Opa-Tisha-Wakalaka, Florida, known as the historic Opa-locka.
I remember Opa-locka as being a vibrant city, a personable city where families knew each other.
I really like Opa-locka because it's homey. It's very close-knit. It's almost like a city that everybody knows everybody.
Oh, I've seen many changes here in the city of Opa-locka. A lot of construction, a lot of buildings, a lot of social services.
The parks have been reconstructed. The building behind me has been reconstructed, and the train station got the love it deserves. A lot of historical homes.
It's really beautiful to watch the city progress and watch the city grow.
A lot of integration. When I came to the city of Opa-locka, it was very segregated.
Me gusta la zona donde vivo y la escuela donde se criaron mis hijos.
Since I've moved here, there have been a lot of transition that have gone on, and it's been for the better. I've been here through the rough times, and now I'm living through the better times.
Definitely, I would love for it to still continue to be a family-friendly community.
Care for each other, love each other, respect each other.
Living in unity, community. Everyone living together.
My name is Pamela Butler.
My name is Alfonso Irvin.
Rosa Silva.
Sarah Allen.
Catherine Sandoval.
Jamie Russell.
Donald Irvin Jr.
My name is Rose Titus.
I am Mayor John Taylor, and we are Opa-locka.
So, good morning again. Normally, this story will be told by a larger group, including residents, community partners, business partners. However, due to unforeseen circumstances, they couldn't be here today. But the most important part is that the voices that lead Opa-locka will still be heard reading about them. So our city couldn't come here. However, we brought the voices of residents. In Opa-locka, we found something that when we tried to engage civic participation, we found that the barrier was not apathy, because they didn't care about what's going on in the city. It was access. So we found that that was our biggest challenge. In Opa-locka, we learned something very important. And since we have the barriers of the access to the people, we shift how government presents to the residents. Instead of waiting for participation, we shifted how governments present to the residents. They needed access to information, connection, and trust. So we shifted the approach, and we redesigned how leadership engage with residents. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm a little bit nervous. No worries, but we will make it through. So the redesign became our civic engagement system: access, engagement, voice, and leadership, powered by youth. Access creates trust. Trust leads to engagement. Engagement gives residents a voice. A voice develops leaders. And youth ensures that leadership is into the next generation. Every journey begins with access. City Hall on Wheels represents that first step. It removes barriers by bringing services, information, and connection directly into the community. But rather than describing what access means, I would like you to hear from someone who has experienced it firsthand. This is Jesly.
Hi, my name is Jesly Yen. I'm proud to call Opa-locka home. Before becoming involved with city programs, I didn't realize how many opportunities were available for my family. As a mother of three, programs like after school and summer camp gave my children a safe place to learn and grow. And they are very convenient because they help me balance work and family. But what made the biggest difference wasn't just the programs. It was feeling connected to my community. Today, my family participates in city events. We have met other families. And I truly feel that our voices matter. My children are growing up, seeing what it means to be part of a community. And that's something that will stay with them for the rest of their lives.
That's what access looks like. When residents feel seen, heard, trust begins. So trust is the entry point. However, it's not the only thing that we can do for our residents. The next step is creating opportunities for residents to become active participants in their community. In Opa-locka, services are not the end point. They are just the entry point, a way to build relationships, connect residents to information, and open the door to deeper civic engagement. One of the most meaningful outcomes of civic engagement is a stronger sense of community. When residents begin participating, they do not access services. They build relationships, celebrate together, and strengthen the fabric of the city. Tangela's perspective shows us that civic engagement is ultimately about people, feeling connected to one another. This is Tangela.
Hi, my name is Tangela Parker. I'm a longtime resident of the city. Opa-locka is filled with diversity and love. Our police department engages residents with a walking one-stop and the Police Explorers program for our youth. I've had the opportunity to benefit from our bi-weekly food distribution. We have just celebrated 100 years, which is a sign of resilience. As we progress, we look forward to brighter opportunities.
Tangela's stories reminds us that resilient communities are communities that are connected and work together. They are shaping decisions and that they are building relationships. So once trust is established, residents are ready to use their voices through parks, boards, commissions, and community input. Residents are not simply attending events, they are shaping the community. They are doing influence into the community. That is where participation becomes influence. So our next resident is someone that has seen Opa-locka evolve over many, many years. He's one of the oldest residents in the city. He's very connected, and he will show you what true information and connection will shape a city into.
Okay, my name is John Cook. I'm a longtime resident of the city of Opa-locka. Over the years, I've seen a whole lot of changes. Recently, I've seen a lot more information provided to residents about what code has been able to do, the difference that we've made in the city. I'm also seeing a lot more people being involved in the celebrations that they have within the city. They've had several celebrations recently which had quite a few people attend. The atmosphere was very festive and people seem to enjoy it. I think that the city is going in the right direction regarding trying to bring the community together. I think that's an important thing, trying to educate the community, trying to make the community one as a whole. That's kind of my feelings about the whole thing.
John's story reminds us that a community that is informed feels connected. A community that knows what's going on will help that the shift happen, that the changes happen. So, continuing to that, every community has children. In Opa-locka, our youth is not only an audience. We are not only there to serve them, we are there to shape them into the leaders of the future. We are trying to help them get that early engagement, so in the future, they are the ones making the decision and build that future leadership. So our resident journey is simple: access, engagement, participation, leadership. We are not only turning 100 years this year, we are building the future of the next 100 years through leadership, through that leadership of youth pipeline, of that pipeline of youth leadership that will shape the future of Opa-locka, showing that we are a resilient community that has faced many challenges, but we are still here, showing up and giving the best for our residents. Thank you so much.
Adelina, thank you so much. That was a terrific presentation. We love that you're here. We love that you're representing Opa-locka. And now we're going to have a series of questions in the jury to just engage more and learn more about your journey.
Of course.
Great presentation. I'm noticing in the packet that you all have done so much stuff in the last 2 years, since 2024. What has that taken? Has that been a sort of restructuring of City Hall? Are you bringing in new staff? Like, how are you actually making all of this great stuff happen in such a short period of time?
So our journey began with anti-commission meetings, anti-workshops, and we wanted to engage the community. Back in 2024, we made the shift of saying, hey, how can we make people to actually participate and shape the city? How they can hear their voices. So instead of asking them to come to the meetings, We took the City Halls on Wheels, that's our first program. We took the city services to their community. So every so often, we will go, make them participate, offer the services, engage with the community so they know who are the departments they will need to reach out if they have any kind of information that they need, or if they have any trouble, they will say, hey, I can go to this person and he will help me solve that issue. That created the trust to information. So that help us shape how the residents approach us. So instead of saying, oh, I saw a city car outside and I didn't know who that was, they had, oh, I saw a city car, but that person works on Polyworks, and I have an issue with a sidewalk that is uplifted in front of my house, and I need that fixed. So they reach out to the worker, to the department. So that's how we did it.
Florida in the house.
Opaloka in the house.
I'm from Tallahassee, Adelina. I'm very familiar with Opelika. Let me tell you something. First and foremost, the fact that the community came together to send you out here representing the city, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
And you have done a tremendous job taking us to Opelika. I love the presentation. I love the videos. I love the testimonials. I thought you did great. You mentioned, and you are correct, you're celebrating your centennial, 100 years old.
Yes.
Tremendous story to this part. Tell me what the next 20 years of Opelika looks like.
The next 20 years in Opaloka are going to be great, even better. We are helping the residents. We are creating new leadership. We have a new Police Explorers program that is shaping those young minds to make decisions in the future. We are building our infrastructure. So I'm the capital improvements manager for the city of Opaloka. And my vision for Opaloka is to have the greatest city in Miami-Dade County and Florida.
Welcome today. I wanted to let you know I live in a city the exact size of Opelika in West Virginia.
4.2 miles.
And when you come from a small town and you represent your community, you carry all of that community on your back. And
thank you.
And you have done a great job. Now, I do have one question. I saw a picture there that had young people in, looked like police uniforms.
Yes.
Tell us about that program.
That's our Explorers program. So the police department, 2.5 years ago, I would say, they redesigned the youth program for the police to engage children around the community. So we have our chief, which is Robin Starks. She's doing an amazing, great job. Those kids, they go to community meetings, they help any residents that, and the shift that they have had on their minds, and the fact that they see themselves as leaders of the city is amazing. That's the biggest impact. If not only, oh, I belong to this program and I get to wear a cool uniform, or I get to go to march and stuff like that. No, they are actually making decisions. They are actually going out to help the residents. They are actually seeing that their voices can be heard, that their inputs are shaping Opaloka, that they are having the influence that is needed to make the 25 next years of Opaloka great.
I'm going to take that back to my hometown. Thank you.
Just echoing everything everyone already said, amazing presentation, really representing your city amazingly. My question is, I just want to know more about the Historic Environmental Preservation Board, because that, I've never heard of a city having that, and it just sounds amazing.
So our Historic Preservation Board is very important to us. We have at least 20 national registry buildings, including houses of residents, and the most important one, our beautiful historic City Hall, which is part of our logo, and you can see it here. We try to preserve the history of Opa-locka. We are trying to revitalize and showcase that as part of, this is our culture, this is how we were built. This is what we want to preserve for the community. We want you to come and see our historic City Hall. We want you to come and see our historic train station. We want you to come and visit the first bank of Opa-locka. We want you to go around the neighborhoods, and we want you to go and see, oh, that's a nice house. It has beautiful architecture. We have one of the largest Moorish architecture in the country, and it's still being preserved by our residents and by our government.
Thank you, Adelina. I think we are all very moved by your presentation. You did a fantastic job of commanding the stage, and I think I can say on behalf of my fellow judges, we're honored to be in your presence. So thank you.
Thank you.
I love your theme of civic access and the ways that you're bringing City Hall to meet people where they are. And I'm amazed that with City Hall on Wheels, that 41% of the participants over the last year had never engaged previously with City Hall. What are some of the interesting things you're hearing from residents? What are the unexpected ideas or complaints that they have as they share that with the city?
It's always good to hear complaints. That means we either are doing something good or we are doing something very wrong that we need to address. So one of the biggest impacts that City Hall on Wheels and engagement in that particular area had was our parks. We were working on our parks master plan and trying to hear the voice of the community for at least 2 years previous to starting City Hall on Wheels. We didn't get any feedback. We probably had our first workshop to review the master plan and get the citizens' input, and we had 2 people, 1 commissioner and 1 resident. And even though we went, we delivered, we sent newsletters, nobody came. However, when we went to the communities and we told them, hey, this is your park. What do you want to see on it? How do you want your kids to recreate? How do you want to spend your evenings or your Saturdays or your Sundays? What do you need? That's what helped us make the decision. In the presentation, you could see the change that one of our parks had, and that was Cherbondi Park that you could see there. We got new trails because residents said, hey, we want to walk around the park. We got a new basketball court because we have kids that go out and play, but the courts were not in good condition, so we had to refresh them. We have a new, beautiful playground that was installed, and that now have access and accessibility and ADA compliance for all the children. So that's how they are influencing, that's how they're shaping the future of Opa-locka.
Nick, I'm afraid our time is up, so we have to. Yeah. Adelina, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for representing Opa-locka.
Thank you for having Opa-locka.
River Forest. I'm excited. Civic bingo. That's awesome. Are you ready?
Yes, we are. Play the video.
Hello, National Civic League. I'm Village President Kathy Adduci, and I am honored to introduce you to River Forest, Illinois. Located just 10 miles west of downtown Chicago, River Forest is a community where history, natural beauty, and innovation come together. We are proud to be home to a remarkable tree canopy, an expansive forest preserve, award-winning schools, 2 universities, and historic homes, including 8 designed by renowned architect Frank Lloyd Wright. These assets support the first half of our village motto, Proud Heritage. The second half, Bright Future, reflects our commitment to meeting the evolving needs of our residents, businesses, and community partners. Now, you'll hear from community members who've been involved in engagement initiatives and played a vital role in shaping the future of River Forest.
I have attended multiple casual conversations led by our village president, and they've become a great way for me to stay connected. It is a relaxed setting where you can talk with village leaders, share concerns, and get updates on local issues.
I came to senior bingo hoping for a nice afternoon, and I really enjoyed it. Being in the fire hall was interesting. It was wonderful that the village organized something just like this for seniors.
I hosted a neighborhood dialogue, and it was a refreshing way to gather input, especially in this age of dominant online communication. A shared commitment to the well-being of our community united everyone in the room and led to a productive, constructive conversation. I appreciate the village's effort to engage our community in this way.
All right, good morning, National Civic League and fellow finalists. Thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to play our own version of Civic Bingo. It's a little bit bingo, a little bit Wheel of Fortune. Vanna, are you ready? The first letter is B.
B, I have B. B is for Bright Future. Bright Future is more than just our village motto. It reflects our commitment to River Forest's future. As mayor, I am one of many unpaid volunteers who serve our community, along with 3 other trustees that are here with me today. With more than 10 boards and commissions, our village is guided by unpaid resident volunteers. In River Forest, we believe local government works best when residents help guide our village.
That's a great first square. Let's keep it going. The next letter is N.
N is for Neighborhood Dialogues. After hearing concerns about possible future developments, the village partnered with a communications consultant to host intimate conversations in residents' homes. By inviting friends and neighbors, residents helped create a comfortable setting that allowed us to reach people who do not typically participate in village meetings. Participants were asked broad questions that encouraged open discussion and helped raise concerns that might otherwise go unheard. Our goal was to create true dialogue and gather meaningful input. The feedback was compiled into a public report shared with residents, village leadership, and developers. That document has already influenced planning and will continue to guide decisions moving forward.
It turns out some people are more comfortable talking around their kitchen table than a podium at Village Hall. The next letter is O.
O is for open house. One message from the neighborhood dialogues came through loud and clear. Residents want engagement before any formal development processes began. That feedback led us to host 3 open houses across the village, months before a mixed-use zoning application was filed. Residents met directly with architects, developers, and village staff while plans were still taking shape. Feedback was collected, shared publicly, and provided to the development team well in advance, ensuring that community voices helped shape their proposals, not just react to those proposals.
Those sound great for economic development, but we know that residents have a lot of other things on their mind. The next letter is C.
C is for casual conversations. A few years ago, we piloted a quarterly gatherings on Saturday mornings where residents were able to meet with our village president and key members of our staff. In partnership with our township, the library, park district, and the school district, these conversations rotated across various neighborhoods throughout the community. Residents are free to discuss anything that's on their mind, with topics ranging from potholes to e-scooters and even the deer population. No agenda, no microphones, just conversation and some real feedback.
But we know that the best events aren't impactful if only the same people show up. The next letter is I.
I've got I. I is for invitation. More than 4,000 residents receive our weekly e-newsletter, nearly 47% of the adult population in our village. But we have heard it can get lost in crowded inboxes. So we expanded our outreach. For public hearings, open houses, and neighborhood dialogues, we now send postcards to every address in our village, and we have watched people walk in holding them, both the happy residents and the not so happy ones, which means one thing, our message is getting out there.
Invitations get people to the door, but how do we make sure that people feel welcome there? The next letter is also I.
Inclusivity. Inclusivity means designing engagement so more voices can participate and be heard. That includes in-person events, digital communications, conversations, and good old-fashioned snail mail. We celebrate inclusivity through our annual Pride Walk and Juneteenth flag-raising events, our Welcoming Village Ordinance, and our Twin Village Covenant, all created in partnership with our residents, elected officials, local organizations, and neighbors. River Forest is a founding member of the Cross Community Climate Collaborative, a regional collaboration working with underserved and under-resourced communities to advance shared goals around climate equity and sustainability. Because inclusivity is not just participation. It's about whose needs are reflected in our outcomes. Happy Pride!
All right, we having fun, everybody? We having fun? All right, let's keep this game going. Next letter is G.
I've got G. G is for gathering. Our presentation today is inspired by a real community event, our senior bingo and barbecue. The event grew out of Age Friendly Committee, which conducted a scientifically sampled community survey to better understand aging in River Forest. One key finding was that social isolation is a major concern among older adults. In response, the village turned the firehouse into a lively bingo hall. While 25 was the first year, it reflects a broader commitment to turning data into action. That survey also led to expanded programming, including scam prevention workshops, CPR training, and fall prevention education. And gathering isn't just for adults. As the village's police chief, one of my favorite examples in our week-long Junior Citizen Police Academy, where kids ages 10 to 15 spend the week exploring police work through hands-on activities like fingerprinting, crime scene investigations, and even a visit from the Chicago Police Department helicopter.
That sounds like a pretty good time, Chief. The next letter is, wait, I have two here, V and I.
Jeepers, I have both of those. V is for vehicle, I is for impact. During a casual conversation, a resident raised concerns about traffic safety near her home. She shared that a car had crashed through her fence, along with stories of several other near-miss accidents. In response, the village installed traffic delineators at targeted locations on village and state-owned roads. Following the installation, average vehicle speeds fell 7 miles per hour. This is a strong example of resident feedback and real-world data coming together to drive, no pun intended, real safety improvements and prompt government action.
So we've seen invitation, we've seen inclusivity, and we've seen impact. Let's see what the last letter holds for us. The final letter is C.
As fire chief, I'm going to heat things up here a little bit. We have bingo. C is for continuing what we're doing.
All right, hold your cards, hold your cards. In most bingo games, someone yells bingo, wins a prize, and goes home. But in River Forest, civic engagement does not end. It continues. Each square on the board came from a conversation, a concern, a question, and we responded. So while this game ends, our work continues. The conversations continue, the collaboration continues. Thank you for joining us. Yeah. Civic Bingo! I love RF! I love RF! I love RF! I love RF! I love.
Great job, River Forest. That was really fun.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. This was a great presentation. I love the idea of a bingo related to the senior bingo nights. That's awesome. My question is related to the C4 initiative and the climate collaborative. I was wondering, so climate is usually a very contentious issue. So how do you make sure that people who maybe don't agree come together, and also you have a lot of actionable things? So how does that happen even when there's a lot of disagreement related to climate?
Great question, and it's so true. There is a lot of disagreement, but one thing is true is that I think, at least in our area, we agree that we all want to work together toward a solution. And so that's how it came about. It actually 3 women mayors came together. Yep. Myself from River Forest, Oak Park Village President Vicki Skaman, and then Broadview Mayor, Mayor Katrina Thompson. And we decided that if we collaborated, if we worked together, if we shared resources, shared ideas, then perhaps other communities that were afraid of sustainability initiatives would actually come aboard. And in fact, today we have over 15 communities surrounding us that are a part of C4. So we started out with 3, now we've got almost 20, so great. And one other last interesting fact, the gentleman last night that did the special guest speaker, he talked about Community Foundation. And I couldn't agree with him more. We use the Community Foundation at River Forest Oak Park to help us, guide us through the sustainability issues that we have. And they're called 7 Generations Ahead. They're part of the Community Foundation. So absolutely use your community foundations. They're great.
River Forest, you've got such a great group of volunteers and bunch of female mayors. Yeah. How are you ensuring that the next generation will step into these roles?
That's a great question. I'll take at it, and maybe Matt, you want to add. We've heard, actually, these presentations have been really inspiring to us. We talked a lot about using our youth as part of understanding the future, and we engage our youth, whether it's in police, fire, public safety, we go into the schools and we talk to the children about civic engagement. What does it mean to be a president? What does it mean to be a city council member? And they're really, really interested and engaged. We have be a president for the day. They come in and they, a person that is the president of the day, and they actually know how to write an ordinance and pass a law. So we try to bring them in to understand how government works. And the one takeaway also we learned throughout this last 48 hours is we're going to create a youth council. We're going to create a youth commission, and it's going to start when we get back to River Forest. So thank you for that idea.
First of all, great presentation. My man, you look great in that denim jacket. Let me tell you, you're looking good. You're looking good.
He's waiting.
There we go. Madam Mayor, couple of comments real quick and then a question. I am so impressed with the creative use of municipal services in buildings. And Chief, the fact that y'all use the firehouse for senior bingo and barbecue, and then you also translate that into services and teaching moments, that is something that everybody can learn from. That is a great use of your community assets moving forward. Did not know you were a university town. So I'm interested in knowing, great stat too, when I can't remember who said that you actually mail every resident in the city?
Yes, sir.
That is incredible, but we also know that students don't necessarily do well with snail mail. So how do you keep in touch and communicate with your collegiate population to make sure that they're part of the town, your town and gown issues, without missing the opportunity to bring them in?
Yeah, great question. I'm going to let you, Matt.
Yeah, thank you. That's great. We also rely on the traditional e-news and social media and all that kind of thing to help, but I want our fire chief to kind of explain one thing that we couldn't fit into our presentation about a partnership we have with Concordia University and their nursing program to kind of bring people into.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we did. We started this program about 3 years ago. Concordia University just started a new nursing program. So we reached out to them, and we have joined forces with our paramedics. So our paramedics now do some instruction over there in the nursing program. After the second year, we initiated what's called Envision. Envision is a summer camp now that we invite not only students from the university who are in the nursing program, but other students from the university and also students from our local high school and grade schools. We do a summer camp where our firemen and paramedics engage with the students. They teach them everything from they do an emergency call from the extrication all the way through the transport to Concordia's got a mock hospital where the students learn. We process the patient through the emergency room all the way up to the floor. So they are able to participate and see how an incident like that progresses and see all the different parts of EMS and hospital nursing that goes on for that one patient. So it's been a huge success. It's grown substantially over the last couple of years. So, and on a side note, the department now benefits because our paramedics are allowed to use the hospital facility at Concordia, which has hundreds of $1,000s worth of mannequins that breathe, do the whole thing. So we have access to that, which we train on a couple times a month over there with them. And no other fire department in our area has that access like we do. So it helps our guys out tremendously.
Jim really got to my question on the town gown, so I'll just say it's really good to see you guys, and you represent Illinois very well.
Woo! Yeah.
And I know quite a few people who live in River Forest. Yeah, know quite a few. And it is for sure. For sure.
If not cost.
No, for sure. But I will say it is there are some really highly civically engaged and also like really strong opinion having people in your community. How do you navigate that, particularly, in a volunteer role, right? Like, how do you navigate, probably in some cases, some pretty high demanding residents who are coming to your casual conversation?
Thank you for the question. Yes, we have a very well-educated, affluent community that's really engaged and has high expectations for services and what goes on in town. And what sparked a lot of these initiatives that we described here today was feedback that we got through kind of more traditional planning. We wanted to make some changes to our zoning code that was based from our comprehensive plan, but residents still felt that it was kind of a top-down approach and that didn't feel engaged. So we wanted to reframe these conversations with the neighborhood dialogues, kind of a smaller group, to have more dialogue with it instead of just us coming down. And we're fortunate that we have residents that are engaged and want to be involved, and they helped make these events what they were. We could put out the call, and if nobody volunteered their homes, then we're not here today.
So we have a lot of tactical things that we try to do to, grab those. I have a lot of opinions, and we want the opinions. We actually learn from the opinions. It's interesting. I just heard it was a Harvard student that was giving a speech, and he says, division doesn't mean agreement, it means understanding. And I really believe that that's what our community and our council tries to understand, the other point of view. And there will always be another point of view. And we'll find that, common ground. But we know and we accept that everyone has an opinion, and we like that. We welcome it, actually.
That's great. Well, I'm only a couple minutes east of you, right downtown, so I'll have to come through.
Come through.
See you guys.
Come by. Come by. Yeah. Come to our bingo. Yeah.
Hi, River Forest. Great presentation. I love the bingo plus the Wheel of Fortune thing. That was awesome. My question is about your inclusivity, which I loved. You had your own letter dedicated to that. It sounds like you have some awesome events with Juneteenth and Pride. I'd love to hear a bit about how you put those events on, if you get community input, what that process is like.
So
Thanks.
these are some of my favorite things. June is my favorite month because of the events that we put on. They're community-driven and community-led, and more specifically, they're led for our students and with our students. Pride Walk came out of the elementary schools. Families wanted an event that they could attend with their children to celebrate Pride. Juneteenth came out of our community needing to understand and to heal divisions within itself. So we have our Brownie Troop who raises the Juneteenth flag. We have youth speakers and youth entrepreneurs providing food and crafts. Those are such special things. So one of the things that we do with inclusivity is we make sure that it's inclusive not just for everyone, but it's not ableist. We make sure that everyone of every ability is able to attend. We make sure infants can come and volunteer for these events. I make sure that every volunteer event that we have related to these events has childcare or playgrounds available to the kids so that there's the ability to attend no matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter what your ability status is. Everyone is able to come together and do these events with us, and it helps the kids become engaged in civic activity.
Great job, River Forest.
Woo! Thank you.
Congratulations, and thank you for being
Thank you.
here.
We're honored to be here. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, baby.
Yes, sir. Let's get it, baby. Get everybody, get on your feet. Check, check. Everybody get on your feet, baby. Riviera Beach. Let's go. Yeah. Riviera Beach in the building, baby. Let's go. Get 'em up, get 'em up, get 'em up, get 'em up. Let's go. Who you with? Who you with? the music.
Welcome, Riviera Beach. Riviera Beach, are you ready to begin?
We stay ready.
Go for it.
Riviera Beach is going through a massive, massive redevelopment effort. My name is Anita Jenkins. I am a longtime resident of Riviera Beach. In the 15 years that I've been here in the city, I noticed that a lot of our elderly residents, a lot of our longtime residents were not comfortable in their homes. We came up with a program that we knew would be beneficial for our residents.
Since we've gotten that, insurance deal has been real smooth here lately, and safety and security reasons, and also for the upcoming storm.
It just helped it helped tremendously. So it was really good that we had to do that they did all of this. So we're thankful for it.
The Reclaim program is a way to make sure that everybody participates in the revitalization.
So the Reclaim program means a whole lot to me. Success.
The Riviera Beach Youth Council played a critical role in us becoming an All-American City finalist.
And I really enjoyed being able to meet legislators, other youth leaders, connect with people in my community, and just learn more about leadership in the Youth Council.
Like meeting new people and getting to learn new stuff about our community.
I love being in the Riviera Beach Youth Council because I'm learning new ways every day on how to improve the city I grow up in.
It's incredible to see how involved our youth have become through the Youth Council program.
Citizens Leadership Academy is one of the initiatives that we submitted to All American Cities. The Citizens Leadership Academy is a program designed to educate the community about city operations while fostering a bridge between citizens and municipal government.
We have beaches with internationally known snorkeling sites and unforgettable people and entertainment events, but it's more than that. It's what's beneath the surface.
I'm sorry, y'all, I'm still tired from dancing. But I'm here to talk to you guys about Riviera Beach. Okay, so Riviera Beach, 15 youth in the Youth Council, 25 in our Citizen Leadership Academy. We have our Neighborhood Reclaim program that helps seniors rebuild their roofs, their homes. Those are just the facts.
Excuse me, sir. I hear you with all the facts, and I appreciate we need to hear that. But I didn't come all this way to just hear a bunch of numbers. That's boring. Like your city tagline in the video, I'm trying to see what's beneath the surface.
Well, you know what? Let's take them beneath the surface, shall we?
Do that.
Right? We are the Riviera Beach Youth Council. 15 students, 5 schools, different neighborhoods, different stories, but one city.
And before anybody else, we did not come here to do TikTok. We actually care about how the city functions.
As we learn how our city works, we can better serve the nation as a whole. We see things that need attention every day. Empty lots, broken homes, people giving up. We learn how government decisions affect families in a real way. We learn that our voices are not too young to matter. We learn to speak truth to power. We talked about community care, public safety, health, and leadership. Our anti-gay campaign helped about 3,000 youth and families.
Now, I know most of y'all were born in the late 1900s.
We matter because we are the future. Not just the future. We are part of the present. We are the right now. When young people feel included, they grow up loving the city instead of feeling shut out by it. We bring energy, new ideas.
And can I just say, because the way y'all love to gatekeep those Wi-Fi passwords, I'm still waiting.
We want Riviera Beach to be a place where the youth feel seen before they are viewed. A place where youth are guided, not ignored. That is why we matter! We are the Citizens Leadership Academy.
We're not here because we know everything.
We're here because we want to learn. I lived here for 30 years and still don't understand how decisions are being made.
Trust and believe you you are not the only one. Because I know I didn't know, but what I do know is learning is easier when you got refreshments. I know y'all love fruit snacks. But I don't want to feed everybody because I know at this age we'll need a nap.
We serve about 25 residents each year.
Yeah, your organization really came through when me and my parents needed it most.
We love that.
And we have a 98% completion rate in our program.
Because once people understand the city, they don't feel left out.
Also, I see because the city's budget finally made more sense in my cousin's explanation on a Facebook post.
We matter because our residents deserve to understand how decisions are made. But more than that, we learned that the government is made up of people.
People who serve.
And definitely people who need more email etiquette. That's per myself.
We help neighbors become leaders. When people understand the process, they feel appreciated.
And when they feel appreciated, they participate.
Which means fewer rumors, fewer assumptions, and fewer people giving that person who always has something negative to say attention on Facebook at 2 o'clock in the morning.
We build trust. We help our neighbors become leaders.
We help the city feel less distant and more like home. That's why
we matter.
We raise children here.
We actually saw these streets change. I personally watched Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard intersect with Barack Obama Highway.
We kept our homes together as best we could. Some days with tools, some days with prayer, some days with both.
The Neighborhood Reclaim Program helps families repair roofs, plumbing, electrical systems, and other important parts of the home.
It helps seniors and longtime homeowners stay safe and retain our dignity.
That is very true, because homes are not just wood and paint, they actually hold members.
And sometimes held together by one miracle, nail, and a lot of hope. Because before this program, man, look here.
We matter because neighborhoods are still built on the people who live in them.
Because when a home is falling apart, so is its confidence.
And you have to understand that if the block feels unseen, so do the people. But this is why the Reclaim program helps the city to see us.
And I respect any program that protects my roof, my needs, and my dignity. And that order.
Amen, brother.
Because when homes are restored, pride comes back.
And when pride comes back, neighbors start believing again.
And that is why we matter.
See, now that's what I needed to hear. Not just what each group does, but why every group is needed. You bring the future into the room.
And we need that future to show up now. Residents bring accountability and wisdom.
And the city needs people who know its history and care enough to ask questions.
Very true. Homes matter. Stability matters.
And the city needs people to feel safe where they live.
So basically, we all need the young people.
We definitely need the grown folk. Yeah, we need you, Auntie. Yeah, we need you too, Uncle.
It's hurricane season, so I'm not even playing with y'all about my roof. Now, when all these groups come together,
The city listens. The city learns.
the city heals.
The city becomes something we can all believe in. Something honest. Something caring.
Something rooted.
Something that doesn't need a camera thrown up addressing every rumor just to prove it's working.
I see it now. See what exactly? The surface was just numbers. And beneath the surface, people.
We need this city to believe in us.
And we need to believe in the city. We need to understand each other.
We need to talk, even when it's uncomfortable.
We need to repair what's worn and torn down.
We need to keep caring about the places we call home.
And we need to stop acting like every city issue is the mayor's fault. I mean, we have a city council for a reason, people.
Right. Because sometimes a problem is just a problem.
And sometimes the solution is just as simple as showing up.
I love it, Riviera Beach. This is how a brighter future is being built. With youth.
Hope. With residents. Trust. With homes.
Stability. And with all of them together,
Riviera Beach rises.
not not by hiding what hurts,
By seeing what's beneath the surface.
and finding strength to build again.
Together.
Riviera Beach is not just surviving.
It's about becoming.
Stronger. Higher. United.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you. Thank you, Riviera Beach. That was awesome.
Great job. To the young folks, I love your energy. And even though you gave us that late 1900s dig, I still appreciate y'all. I won't forget that one though. But I'm really, I'm struck by the vaping campaign that you all did. And I know that's a rising issue. What do you think we need to know about that and how you talk to your peers about that particular issue?
Well, our anti-vape campaign was very influential because it impacted 3,000 youth and families, and it went all across the Palm Beach School District. And myself, I was able to go on Channel 12 News to talk about the detrimental effects of THC vapes, and it's a third-degree felony because it prevents youth and my peers to apply for housing, go to universities, and other things like that. And we just saw how it targeted our community, and we just wanted to make an impact as a youth council.
And at the chief of police in the city of Riviera Beach, I'm the president of Palm Beach County Chiefs Association, and we saw a tipping point with youth overdosing. People don't realize that vaping campaign is so important because kids are overdosing. If you get caught with a vape pen of THC, it's a felony. A lot of young men who are 15 years old get a felony, you can't go to college and can't get a home. So it's so important for us to educate the people about vaping throughout the country. And because of the youth, we have been able to create legislation in Palm Beach County to map out all stores from 1,000 feet around schools.
Thank you, Riviera Beach. I never thought of myself as being born in the late 1900s, but that is true. That is true. You all had a great breakdown of the programs. It's very helpful to us as judges, and I also think you're all rocking some of the best swag I've seen. And my question is actually about that. Tell us more about the bridge that means something to your community, both literally and figuratively.
So literally and figuratively, my name is Douglas Lawson. I'm honored to serve as the mayor of our great city. This bridge represents a community of unison, of engagement, of connection. It's an ecosystem. We talk about our youth council, we talk about our Reclaim program, we talk about our leadership academy. But this bridge actually connects our communities. You have a community that has a barrier island, Singer Island, and you have a community that has a mainland. We have a completely divided community that's brought together by this bridge. We are one community in one city and one Riviera Beach, and we stand true and stand strong together with that. Our purpose is truly just to impact communities and to love on communities. So that bridge really just brings us together. There's no divide in Riviera Beach.
You guys had a great presentation. I enjoyed how all three components really came through on that. I spent a lot of time working in housing, and I want to talk a little bit about the Reclaim program. So when communities are what you see as you drive down streets and all. When you see a dilapidated property, it just destroys a neighborhood. What's been kind of the key components of the Reclaim program as it's worked in the communities, in neighborhoods?
It's a great question, and thank you for that. Jadelle Merz is the CRA Executive Director in Riviera Beach. One of the main things that we try to implement within the Reclaim program is just that, making sure that the broken window theory in reverse happens for us. The Reclaim program has been around since 2017, and it's affected about approximately 200 homes with window, roofs, doors, driveway fencing, things of that nature. It establishes an immense amount of pride within our community. It makes sure that we emphasize the home ownership and affordable housing within our community as well. Riviera Beach is in a breakthrough when it comes to development, but we also understand that it's important to realize that our community matters first. We want to make sure that we emphasize with home ownership and affordability that our community is in the thresholds of what that change is, and through their voice and their impact, we understand and we see them.
Come on now, Riviera Beach in the house this morning. On a personal note, I have never been more proud to be a Floridian than the two presentations I've seen. And I also know your story very well, and I can honestly say if there is a city in the state of Florida that's truly going through a renaissance, it is Riviera Beach. To the youth members, y'all knocked it out of the park. You're doing a great job. Certainly do appreciate it. One thing in the presentation truly stood out. That is a 98% completion rate of your Citizens Academy. That speaks so well to the community, the participants, and those that put on the academy. My question is, what is in the secret sauce that keeps people from the beginning to the end? Because I've never heard of a Citizens Academy that has that type of success in completion rate.
I'm Kashamba Miller Anderson, one of the city council persons, and what I could possibly say with maybe, but they won't admit to it, is the food. Snacks. No, what I truly believe that it is that they're learning something, and I believe that they're feeling as if they'll be able to go on and do wonderful things by learning the information that they're given during their 7-week course. So they're understanding how finance works, they're understanding how procurement works. And then what we're also seeing is that once they graduate, they move on to either become elected officials, such as Dr. Botel, and then they also go on to be homeowners association presidents, being community advocates inside of their community. So I think just the excitement of knowing that they can make a difference from the information that they've been provided, that keeps them there along with that food.
And we have to give a shout out to Councilwoman Miller Anderson. She established that program here in our community many years ago. So everybody give it up here.
Thank you guys so much. As somebody born in the 2000s, I really appreciated that joke. My question is actually for the Reclaim program. I'm wondering how you guys identify the homes that need work done the most. Like, is there an application process, or are you just out in your community talking to people about the issues? Like, how does that process kind of work?
So the beautiful part about the process is that our homeowners actually come to the table and they request through conversation, hey, there's some items that I need to restore within my home. I need assistance. And we have this Reclaim program where we can go ahead and provide a platform for them to not only give a sheet of paper and fill out specific name, but also to be heard. The Reclaim program is a part of our fabric within the community, but it's an ever-growing program. So it's a program where we have the opportunity to continue to hear those residences and also understand what they need within their home ownership process. As we all know, home ownership is an issue that is not only something for 2026, but also beyond. So we're addressing and tackling those problems right now as we speak.
Also through the police department, we also know that every person would not be part of that program. So what the police department have done, we have painted 83 homes in the city of Riviera Beach. That those individuals cannot afford to paint their homes. At the city go through a transformation period, we want to make sure those individuals don't lose their home because of code violation and fines.
And just to add to that, we are an income qualified based program. We kind of focus on our seniors, so we look at very low to low and mid income in terms of qualifications. We take applications, we're able to review that and determine if they do qualify for the program. But our main focus is the seniors, and we try to help them through that program.
So I have a similar question, but for the Youth Council. How are students selected to join that council?
Okay. Hi, my name is Reina Caballero. I'm 17 years old and I'm the vice president of the Youth Council. And so basically, we have to submit an application through the Riviera Beach website, and that is when we are able to submit an essay or a video, and we just talk about how the city has been influential to us and how we believe we can make an impact for our city. And I believe that it gives us pride in our city, and it allows us to learn civic duties and just grow our academic and professional career.
Absolutely. Do you find, just a follow-up, how are you getting the word out? Are you finding that students are knocking down the door to be part of the council, or how is word getting out to?
So word gets out by social media. So we usually have posters and we put it on our social media, or we have youth city town halls where we talk about like what issues are they having with our city and what would they like to see, and like how would they like us to represent them. Thank you.
So to piggyback on that, we weren't able to actually really capture and to get those teenage kids. We didn't really connect with them. Me and Miller Anderson tried to do a TikTok and failed miserably. So what we had to do was really connect, go into the schools, go into the communities, and actually go to them and have them do the promotion, have them do the recruitment, and have them do the town halls, because they're the ones that connect with the actual youth, and they're the ones that actually brought more youth to the table. So they were the ones that did all the recruitment for us, and we just kind of ran the program, which they're currently running.
That makes total sense. Thank you so much, Riviera Beach. That was an awesome presentation. Congratulations.
question just so random, like who's that on that mic? A true bona fide MC, he doing what we like. Could he so live? Could he ever style right? Is he live for real or just another sound right? Nah, never. So smooth, stronger than ever. Do it right now, yes, now or never. Come on. It's right here, right? Do it right now, yes, now or never.
Welcome, Roanoke. So great to have you here. Are you ready to begin?
We represent the beautiful Blue Ridge Mountain City of Roanoke, Virginia. We're going to begin today with a short video featuring the voices of people who couldn't be with us today, but very much wanted to be. However, we woke up this morning and learned that there had been a murder in our community of a 23-year-old young woman. So I have to tell you, we were also all grieving as much as we are here to celebrate. So may I ask you all to share a moment of silence with us before we start? Thank you. One of our partners is dedicated to ending gun violence in our city. It's an especially difficult moment for us. We are wearing our Fed Up End Gun Violence bracelets. I set more out in the lobby, and I invite you to take some and get involved in your efforts in your community to reduce gun violence, because it's going to take a nation. Thank you. Cue the video, please.
I was homeless on and off 5 years. It's a real short trip for someone to get into homelessness, but it's a long trip coming back out. The city's not the man putting their thumb over you. The city's the man, and they're underneath you, and they're trying to pick you up.
The City of Roanoke works hard to address our greatest challenges, things like homelessness, social divides, and service gaps. And our projects always seek to uplift our citizens, creating a healthy city bursting with the arts, with culture, and creating a thriving small business community.
Roanoke is strengthening our community from the ground up. One way is by empowering nonprofits through Grant Ready Roanoke.
Each organization is different, and we wanted to meet them wherever they were coming into the program, and walk beside them to wherever they wanted to go.
One of the things Grant Ready Roanoke helped us with was improving our board. We were in a season of board change and growth, and so they really helped us develop what a healthy board should look like and how the board can better support us and help us to grow.
Free arts programming connects neighbors through shared creativity.
It's not necessarily about the art, but the art's what brings people together to just feel relaxed and have conversations with one another.
The Arts Connect has been a lifeline to us. It has been the best thing that I think that the city has ever come up with. We were always able to reach out to Arts Connect and get what we needed.
And Roanoke's homeless outreach program is building trust and providing housing solutions.
Between Underwood and Dickerson, I'm telling you right now, they're godsend. Like, they literally the best thing that ever happened to me. They didn't give up on me. And I was at a point where I was giving up on myself and just giving up on how to get out of that situation. They literally saved my life.
Thank you. Homelessness is hard to look at. Our parks and underpasses were filled with tents and makeshift shelters. As Virginia rents skyrocketed and housing instability intensified, I'm Roanoke Police Officer Jacob Underwood. I witnessed the arrival of a national crisis. In 2023, Roanoke's homelessness increased by over 50%, and residents blamed the city for not doing enough. So Officer Dickerson and I were tasked to vacate encampments. We'd force the unhoused out of parks, underpasses, and days later, we would find them along the greenways. Citations and arrests weren't solutions to job loss, addiction, and limited housing. In our haste to maintain order, we lost trust. we needed an impactful approach, so together, her and I created the STAR Initiative. We stopped giving orders, started listening, and asking, what can we do for you right now?
Roanoke's Homeless Assistance Team, or HAT, builds trust by helping our unhoused residents get the resources they need to achieve stability. I'm Matt Cruikshank, Human Services Administrator. We conduct daily outreach in the places where our unhoused people gather. Our work starts with listening. We learn people's names, stories, and goals. We build trust through meaningful engagement and connections to resources.
As you saw, Chris Bonner was interviewed. He didn't trust cops when we met him, but we kept asking, kept engaging. Chris, what do you need right now? Eventually, Chris opened up and shared his trauma that led to job loss and his homelessness. And he was eager to get off the streets and back to work, but he needed an ID.
After Chris connected with us at HAT, we helped him overcome transportation hurdles. We drove him to appointments. We helped him regain structure, obtain his birth certificate, and a Virginia ID.
With an ID, he could now apply for jobs. He ended up getting hired as a local custodian at a high school, and he just completed his first year, where he hasn't missed a day.
Chris's story shows us how each unhoused person has unique challenges to overcome. Some need mental health or addiction treatment, others need voucher programs to afford security deposits or moving expenses. HAT and the STAR team are working with unhoused people on an individual basis to put them on a path to housing.
Since January 2025, HAT has helped more than 300 people move into permanent housing. 300 people, that's enough to pack 5 Roanoke City buses. And the city's Hope and Home Task Force is developing recommendations for long-term local strategies to help our city council craft lasting solutions for systemic change.
We're so proud of what Chris accomplished. He also taught us when we can consistently peel away barriers and start asking the right questions, we can build trust.
Roanoke has many wonderful nonprofits that came to us with a vision, and Grant Ready Roanoke was born through collaboration. I am City Council member Vivian Sanchez-Jones, and this is proof that cities and nonprofits work better together.
Our nonprofits have unlimited passion, vision, and community trust, but many lack expertise in bookkeeping, grant writing, governance, and filing for tax-exempt status. I'm Roanoke Grants Manager Helen Ferguson. In a city with poverty rates that exceeded state and national averages, there's nothing more heartbreaking than a nonprofit that has to turn down $1 million donation because it lacks capacity to spend it. Grant Ready Roanoke strengthens nonprofit capacity. Woo! Woo!
I'm Renee Taylor. The violent deaths of our loved ones inspired Fed Up, a nonprofit dedicated to gun violence prevention. We knew funding was available to help us save lives, but didn't know where to look. We were grieving families, not CFOs. Grant Ready Roanoke helped us update our bylaws, improve our finances, and structure our board, giving us a clear path for growth. There was no big brother mentality. The Grant Ready Roanoke team told us they weren't there with the answers. They asked questions that made us think more deeply about our work and how we could improve. Ultimately, we received grant funding to purchase donor management software that transformed our old school paper and pencil bookkeeping into an efficient accounting process that gives us more time to support grieving families and ultimately interrupt the cycle of gun violence. Grand Ready Roanoke empowered us to pull away the red tape standing between us and our mission.
Roanoke Gainsboro neighborhood once stood as a thriving black middle class, but urban renewal brought poverty, social fragmentation, and shattered already fragile trust between citizens and the city. Recent investments in Gainsboro are helping those wounds heal through so are the arts.
Arts Connect Neighbors is community development cleverly disguised as free arts programming. Through 153 unique community-driven projects, over 6,000 participants across Roanoke have come together to create art and connect with their neighbors.
All right, yes. I am Robin Mitchell, the creator of an Arts Connect project called Sharing Our Pride. Through storytelling, conversations, creative engagement, residents discover and celebrate their defining values, history, and aspirations. In the Gainsboro neighborhood, I engage with about 24 highly active residents. And we worked on a logo that defined their sense of pride and the neighborhood's visual identity. The design that emerged represents the community's strength and resilience and incorporates a neighborhood icon that reflects Gainsboro's multicultural identity. Arts Connect Neighbors teaches us that when we create together, we connect with each other. And when we feel connected, we become invested in our community's future. Co-created art strips away superficial differences, revealing that there is far more that we have in common.
Yes. We want to close by thanking everybody who came by our Civic Action booth on Friday and contributed to our art project behind us. You made your mark in our presentation, and that's because local governments all depend on each other. Sharing the things that make us great is what All America City is all about. Together, we're uncovering ways to build connections that strengthen our communities, because what lies beneath the surface often holds greater value than what first meets the eye. Thank you.
Thank you, Roanoke. Thank you for being here and for that presentation. And we are, I think I speak for all of my fellow jurors, very sorry for the loss of your neighbor.
Thank you.
I'm amazed that you all went through that presentation with such enthusiasm and joy. So thank you. Wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
First question here. It's not really so much a question, but just a kind of extending on Maya's comments. I'm from Chicago, so I know what it's like to live in a community that deals with far more gun violence than it should. And I so appreciate you all bringing your whole self to this presentation and creating room for that grief. Because when you do this work in communities like this, it's a constant balance between hope and heartbreak. You know, and I feel like you guys struck that balance very well today, and I just wanted to say how much I appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Roanoke. Just wanted to echo that. We're all sending lots of love and thoughts to your community and families affected, so thank you so much for being here. I'm from Los Angeles, a city that is definitely stuck in the cycle of homelessness and struggling with housing right now. And from my perspective, our city has really struggled to build that trust that you spoke about. I'm really curious if you could talk a little bit more about the initial steps for setting up your program, namely the main challenges that you had to navigate. Did this require increased funding? How did you go about changing the relationship in the early days? Would love to hear more. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm going to also get Matt to answer this. This is a twofold question, right? There's the government side, and then there's the police side. And the reason we take away those barriers there is because it is not a police problem at the end of the day. However, a lot of the structure that we have in this nation is that it is a police problem, or at least we call on the police to remove it. But what we found is partnering so well with the HAT team and with other resources like the Rescue Mission, Blue Ridge Behavioral Health, and the HOPE Initiative for Recovery, we were able as police officers to go in and if we had to enforce, all right? Now we can go in and engage prior to, because it's not all you shall arrest. We have that ability to educate. We have the ability to actually bring the community first to those encampments, to those people. And then once we identify those needs, once we identify those barriers, then we can be cops. Then we can present ourselves as Officer Underwood instead of Jacob. As you saw, Chris Bonner in the video just mentioned us as both Bree and Jacob. That's how we are for everyone. But when we have to be officers, we will. And I think that trust is what we were able to capture because of those resources. Matt, do you want to carry off of that?
Sure. Yeah, I think our work, it starts with building trust and building those relationships before we're able to really make progress on housing. So as Jacob mentioned, we previously had kind of been in enforcement first and focused more on clearing encampments and kind of lacked that compassion with engaging in services. So we really made an intentional effort to make sure we're making those personal connections. We're listening to people's stories. We're asking what they need, what next steps can we help you work through, and then we do whatever it takes to help make that happen. So we transport people to their appointments. We make sure we're as hands-on as we need to be to make sure they work through those next steps. And it takes time, it takes time to develop those relationships and build trust, but that's really how we've seen success, is really taking the time to make those connections.
Thank you all so much. Really sharp presentation, and like my colleagues, condolences on the loss of a member of your community. I think these are all really great programs, but I wanted to focus in on this Grant Ready Roanoke program because I think it's really interesting. Sometimes cities and public infrastructure can solve problems directly, and I think you're showcasing some of those programs. But sometimes it's about empowering everyone else, right, to solve those problems for themselves. And so I think this program's brilliant because you're pulling on individual groups and people who are solving specific problems. They just lack something. They lack knowledge. They lack the infrastructure. And I think that's excellent because it's almost an infinitely scalable solution. And so I'm curious, I know it's relatively small right now, right? You've only had the 10 participants go through, but because there's so much upside and so much broader reach for a program like that, curious just how you think about next steps for that. What does next look like, and what does good look like?
So for next steps, we actually tried to build it into the budget. And so thank you, Councilwoman Sanchez-Jones. The budget was approved, and so we actually will be carrying this on for another year. So we originally started this project with ARPA funds, and it is going to be carried over into the next budget cycle. It also includes some grant funding to go into the community for individual agencies that participate.
One of the things that always impressed me when I was learning about this program myself was the kind of cross-pollination of existing resources. We partnered with a local university who sent faculty and graduate research, like PhD research students, to help structure the program, and the nonprofits kind of guided the way in terms of telling them here's what we need help with first. So it was them leading the way, and us just sort of connecting them to the resources that we could.
I wanted to also add to that the importance of the collaboration, because we are in a tight budget cycle for our community, and I think that this also shows the investment into our local nonprofits, how important it is for our community to continue to invest in that capacity building, for them to be able to continue on the work that maybe our government can't do.
I absolutely love the fact that you took a community experiment on Friday night and created art in real time on the stage during your presentation. I've never seen that before.
You did it.
That is so brilliant while you're highlighting the arts and creativity in your community. I've never seen that. That was great. Officer, right? I want to make sure I get my rank straight.
Yes, sir.
Officer, you probably had one of the most profound quotes of the weekend when talking about those that are experiencing homelessness, unsheltered. that you were on the front lines of the arrival of a national crisis. And I think every community in here and every community across the United States feels the exact same way. Now, translating that into, and I love the philosophy of the police department. I love your philosophy of how you help people. And you can't arrest yourself out of this situation. Yeah. And I think it's absolutely amazing. I am blown away, and I want to make sure that I understood you correctly because words matter. You all have created 300 permanent housing situations in the past couple of years, or is this transitional housing?
It's permanent housing.
Permanent housing.
So we moved 300
I
people
want
off
you
the
to follow up. Tell us a little bit about that, because that is impressive all in itself. We know that the first step is emergency shelters, and then you have your temporary shelters, but permanent housing?
Yeah, so we've housed, actually over the last 4 years, over 200 people each of the last 4 years. So our outreach work each year. So our outreach work is housing focused. I mean, that we hone in on housing. That's the kind of the crux of our work. We connect folks with the other supports they need, but moving them into permanent housing is how we solve homelessness. We can't arrest our way out of it.
Yeah. So a second part to that is the program that the police department created was STAR, and STAR stands for Supporting Transition Assistance and Recovery. What that is we were tasked with vacating encampments that are 48 hours. They were taken from a 7 to 10 day vacate to a 48 hour. And I'm sorry, but anyone in here that was given 48 hours to leave, you're not going to worry about the services of yourself. It's let me get out of here, let me get my belongings so I don't lose my life. And so for that, Officer Dickerson and I really wanted to cherish the compassion of both the HAT team and those resources, bring them together to go to these encampments. That way it wasn't enforcement first.
Roanoke, our hearts are with you as you grieve the loss of your neighbor, and thank you for showing up with incredible poise and grace. Two thoughts. One on the Grant Ready program. As a longtime nonprofit leader, I know how much those capacity building programs have a massive impact on your ability to scale, so just commending you on that. And secondly, with the STAR program, extraordinary, clearly having results, and it's a national issue like we've talked about. How did the solutions you found with STAR compare to those of peer-level cities, and do you have forums to share what's working with other people?
So during our establishing phases of being able to actually create a vision that also supported our resources, but that the city manager would be on board with, we tapped into Douglas, Colorado, and Wichita. So anyone here from Wichita? That's what Sergeant Nate from Wichita and Douglas, Colorado really helped us with the models that they created that are nationally known, and that was really able to help boost us. Because when you identify those things, trust is the number one thing that you have to have with that community, otherwise it's going to fail. Officer Dickerson and I already had the trust of being officers because of those barriers we removed, but we needed the foundation for the support of what those officers were able to do at the department.
That shared learning is amazing. You guys, thank you for connecting with other cities around the country. Did you want to say something?
Renee, did you want to talk about the capacity building side and how capacity building helped that out?
Oh, yes. Yes. As I talked about in my intro, Fed Up stands for Families Expecting, Delivering, Choosing Prayer. And we are a support group for families who've lost loved ones to gun violence. I lost my father and my brother to gun violence. So, and I don't know if you guys know this part from my application, but most of the board members of Fed Up have lost loved ones to gun violence. So when you hear of an instance of gun violence, like today, it's personal, okay? It is personal to us. And we go out and we meet with the families, and I don't mean just sit down and meet with them, like we stand outside with them while their loved one is being brought out of the house or club or wherever they are. And we're walking with them every step of the way. So we're not thinking about, or we're daughters or mothers or fathers. We are not CFOs, so we don't have a form ready, when we're waiting with the family to say, hey, can you sign this so that we can have it for the statistical data? We don't have, it's not a photo op for us. So it's just what we do out of passion, out of love. And so Grant Ready Roanoke helped us because, you know, we need support, we need money to continue to do the work. But when it came time to get the money, we weren't prepared. And Roanoke City saw our works. They know the importance of our work. They know the impact that we have on the community. And they call on us, actually. But for them to put the money where their mouth is and support the work by preparing us, to show us how to prepare the data, how to come have management systems, how to have bylaws, to position ourselves so that when there's money available, we're in a position to get that. So as an organization, it has been life-changing in helping us to be able to sustain and continue to do the work that obviously needs to be done. So,
Yeah, thank you. Roanoke, great job. Thank you all for being here. Heart goes out to you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome to the stage, Stowe. Friday night, I was sitting in front of you, and I felt your energy behind during roll call, and I can say you're still maintaining that same energy today, so I can't wait to hear your presentation. Are you ready?
Yes, we are ready! In Stowe, community is like a puzzle. Every resident, business, volunteer, nonprofit, board, commission, and city department holds a piece of that puzzle. By itself, each piece only tells one part of the story. But together, those pieces create something bigger than any of us could ever accomplish alone. So today, as you hear each speaker share their story, they'll add a piece to the puzzle. By the end, you will see what those pieces create together. But wait, we're missing a piece. I think we left it back in S-T-O-W-O-H-I-O! Roll that video.
to Stowe, Ohio, a community of nearly 35,000 residents in the heart of Northeast Ohio, where every day proves that the strongest communities are built one partnership at a time. Covering just 17 square miles, Stowe may not be the largest city, but what we lack in size, we make up for in heart. You'll see that spirit throughout our community, from beautiful parks and neighborhoods to vibrant schools and community events that bring families together. You'll see students serving alongside seniors, dedicated volunteers helping neighbors in need, local artists sharing their talents, businesses investing in community, and citizens stepping forward to serve on boards and commissions, all with one shared purpose: making Stowe stronger for everyone. These moments may seem small, but together they create something remarkable. In Stowe, people don't wait for someone else to solve a problem. They roll up their sleeves and solve it together. Every great idea in Stowe begins the same way, by bringing people together to listen, collaborate, and create lasting solutions. The 3 initiatives you'll see today each address a different community need, but together they tell one story, a story of residents, students, educators, businesses, service organizations, and local leaders working side by side to build a stronger, safer, healthier, and more connected community. We're proud of where we've been, but even more excited about where we're going. Because in Stowe, the future isn't built by one person or one organization. It's built by all of us. Together, we're creating an all-American city.
Good morning. My name is John Probonik, and I'm proud to say that I am the mayor of this fantastic city of Stowe. Our greatest strength isn't our size, it's our people. And again, we have seen what happens when residents, businesses, schools, organizations, and local government work together to solve problems and to create opportunities.
We all know strong communities aren't built on budgets alone. It's built on trust. When residents engage and share ideas, we make better decisions together.
Today, we're going to share 3 projects that use collaboration to help Stowe turn ideas into action. And the first project we're going to talk about today is the AMP Entertainment District and Public Arts Master Plan.
Through our Parks Master Plan, residents identified a need for something more than parks and recreation. They wanted a central gathering space where the community could come together.
Residents and businesses provided vision through surveys, meetings, and public engagement. The only thing the city had to do was listen.
And that vision became the AMP. Through city investment in public amphitheater and a private partnership with business owners to create a destination stop with new restaurants, shopping, public amenities, and connection to the world-renowned Summit County Metro Parks Hike and Bike Trail, we work together to create a destination that both supports economic development and community connection.
The Commission on Inclusion asked one very important question: who might be left out? That conversation led to accessibility improvements, such as universal changing stations in the restroom and increased accessible pathways that help ensure that every resident feels not just welcome, but invited.
The AMP also inspired a broader conversation about creativity and culture, working with a grant from the county's arts advocacy group, Arts Now. The city, artists, businesses, and residents helped shape Stowe's first public arts master plan.
The impact of both the Public Arts Master Plan and AMP Entertainment District extended far beyond Stowe. The project produced a prevailing wage calculator for artists that communities around the region can now use. And by using the city's connections through state government, the city was able to secure funding through the state of Ohio's capital budget to assist with the creation of new trailheads for the AMP district.
The AMP Entertainment District and Public Arts Master Plan show what happens when a community comes together and builds together. Our next projects will highlight what happens when a community plans together.
Our zoning code was more than 30 years old, with some requirements dating back to 1974. We knew it wasn't working for the city anymore, and that's why 2 years ago, we started to overhaul it. And I'm happy to say that 6 months ago, our new code was adopted. That's because residents, businesses, our boards and commissions, city leaders, they all helped shape that process. And their input tied directly into the code and helped give us better regulations for environmental design and better design guidelines.
That's exactly right. Public engagement was central to the effort. Through 20 public workshops, along with open houses, stakeholder meetings, online tools, and nearly 400 survey responses, the community had meaningful opportunities to learn, participate, and provide feedback.
The Stowe Monroe Falls Public Library was proud to help bring additional voices into the conversation. By partnering with the city, we helped connect seniors, families, business owners, and underrepresented residents to the process.
As conversation about growth and transportation continued, another challenge emerged. How do our students travel safely to school?
The relationships built during the zoning rewrite created a strong foundation for Stowe's updated school travel plan.
Drawing on the city's partnership with the Stowe Monroe Falls School District, our parents, our students, our teachers, our principals, and planners, and public safety professionals all participated. Together, they identify opportunities to make travel safer and strengthen connections through community.
These projects show what happens when you let people into the process and genuinely listen to their ideas. Our last project focuses on the volunteers that help guide our city.
More than 80 volunteers serve on our city's boards and commissions. By far, the most impactful is our Charter Review Commission.
In 2025, the Charter Review Commission chose collaboration over conflict, thereby increasing the amount of residents who participated in the process and helping to eliminate some of the problems that had plagued past Charter Review Commissions.
The commission represented a wide range of perspectives and committed itself to an open and transparent process using the National Civic League's Model City Charter as a guide. Holding 19 public meetings and 2 town halls, the city invited residents to participate.
The commission developed 9 charter proposals. 2 advanced to the ballot and passed with overwhelming voter support. 3 more are currently being deliberated in City Council. Those results reflected months of discussion and community engagement.
But the most important wasn't the ballot measures that passed. It was the culture of participation that's continuing today.
Today, you've heard stories about parks, public art, planning, transportation, government schools, libraries, businesses, and volunteers. But these stories aren't really about our projects. They're about our people. Each brought a different perspective. Each contributed a piece of the puzzle.
Stowe and its many caring citizens have formed multiple nonprofit organizations throughout the city. With help from the city, we were able to bring all these organizations into one place, creating one conduit of kindness. Because in Stowe, every resident matters. Every organization matters. Every voice matters.
And the city is always looking forward to make sure that the final piece of the puzzle, kids like me, have a perfect fit.
We are Stowe!
Thank you, Stowe.
Thank you.
Very well done. That was a beautiful presentation.
Well, great job, Stowe. I wondered what color T-shirts you were going to wear today.
Had to wear maroon today.
One of the things that, as you talked about, somewhat of a boring subject in city life is the charter review. And, I've been a part of it over the years, and it always seems to either be just a rubber stamp that everything's fine and we don't. How did you engage folks to not, empty out turn it upside down and start over, but to do some reasoned thought on that?
Yeah, so my name's Drew Riley. I'm the elected law director for the city of Stowe, and I kind of shepherded through the charter review process last year in 2025. And I think it's really important to set the stage of where we were. In 2020, there were 16 charter amendments proposed by the Charter Review Commission. 0 made it to the ballot because of our council, and a lawsuit that went all the way up to the Ohio Supreme Court decided. So that's where we started. And then to the fact that we came through and had 9 proposals, 2 of which made it on the ballot and passed, and now the conversation continues. Councilman Kyle Feldman mentioned there are 3 that are currently still being deliberated today. So it's not just a one and done process. It's been a ever-growing consideration that we've constantly had those communications. Our civic groups like Citizens for Nonpartisan Politics have kept pushing that forward as well. So it's a thing that hasn't ended, I'll tell you that.
Thank you for the presentation, and I was really interested in knowing the last piece of the puzzle you said was the future generation. So what initiatives have been taken to make sure that youth are participating and engaging in those conversations?
Yeah. Harper?
Hi, I'm Harper. I'm 13 years old, and I'm a student at Stowe, and I'm also a youth volunteer. So, thank you. So our schools start student council as young as 3rd grade, which teaches you kindness to like younger people in the elementary schools. And I go to Kimpton, which is like our junior high, and there we have student council, which connects to your community, which is volunteer-based. There's PTSA, which we try to better our school by taking advice and feedback from the other students. And Builders Club, which lets you connect to the youth and still build up your school. And the city itself does Touch a Truck for little kids, and that lets them interact with their community. We also do National Night Out, Shop with the Cop, and Pop Up at a Park, where we set up events at one of our many parks and let kids interact with other kids.
Hello, everyone. I am Felicia Gould. I am Stowe Munroe Falls City School District Superintendent. And so I will say, when I first came into the district, I'm going on my 3rd year, one of the key things that I started was Listen and Learns. And so I do Listen and Learns with students also, so that their voice is at the table, so that the advocacy is there. And so that has shaped a lot of things that we do in our district, even moving toward the strategic plan and many of the surveys that we've talked about here today.
Thank you, Felicia. And yes, the school and the city, it isn't just saying we have a partnership. We have a phenomenal partnership. City of Stowe average age is 42 and a half, which kind of really makes us really unique and well. Half of our residents are under that age and above, the other half, and it's all evenly broke out. So when we look at each one of our programs, whether for youth or senior citizens, we're always looking at each segment of that population.
Appreciate the presentation. I wanted to maybe ask a little bit about the zoning code updates project here. That's a lot of stakeholders. You mentioned an 11-member steering committee. The public cares about this issue. It's extremely challenging, right? You mentioned you gathered a lot of feedback and there were a lot of opportunities for people to weigh in, but maybe walk through that a little bit more, because this is an extremely complicated issue that plagues a lot of local governance. And so just maybe your thoughts on that.
Absolutely. And I know we mentioned Zach's our planning director for the city. But one specific example that we really wanted to highlight was through this process, we actually had a tragedy happen in our city where it was a murder-suicide at a Taco Bell drive-thru. And the Kellerman family came out and brought together people from in the community to try and change our zoning code. And I want both Zach Cowan, our planning director, and then State Senator Casey Weinstein to talk about how that became Megan's Way Out.
Thank you. So when Megan was tragically murdered, she was stuck in a single-lane drive-through. She was stuck. There was no way to get out. So when the Kellerman family came to us to work with us, we came up with a regulation to create a requirement for a emergency bypass lane for all drive-throughs, so that does not happen again. And it's gotten to the point where it's a regional issue now, and cities are copying our code to implement it in their cities. And now it's become a state issue, and I'll let Casey talk about Megan's Way Out at the state level.
Thank you. Casey Weinstein, I'm the state senator for the 28th Senate District in Ohio. And Stowe's impact has reached far beyond its borders, like so many issues that we've already talked about. But with Megan's Way Out, we've introduced bipartisan legislation to the state of Ohio. As we mentioned, other cities are already adopting that ordinance and those zoning changes, and now we're going to do it at the state level. So there's been a massive impact for community safety that was inspired by the city of Stowe and the people coming together to fight for change.
Quick nod, Senator, Mayor, council members, great job. I'm here to tell you, though, that I'm so impressed with the community. To undertake a charter review commission in itself is impressive. To undertake a zoning code rewrite in itself is impressive. To undertake a public arts master plan in itself is impressive. To do all three at the same time is unbelievable. And you have to have serious civic participation to be able to pull that off. The AMP, incredible. I am familiar with your parks, your trail system. Truly, nationally and internationally recognized. Y'all do it right up there. And the fact that you brought the AMP together with your trail system, with private industry, restaurants and shops and the whole 9 yards. My question is, and I guess, you're speaking my love language when we talk about, zoning code rewrite, and kind of piggyback what Nick was saying. How important was the zoning code rewrite to be able to bring the vision of the AMP together? Did you have major hurdles that you have to overcome? So not only do you have to have citizen buy-in to the AMP master plan, but you have to have citizen buy-in to the zoning code rewrite.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the things we're trying to focus on with our presentation. These are separate projects, but what undergirds all of that is that they are connected, and the civic health of our city is what drives these things. It's what our residents are constantly asking for these updates. I have to give a big shout out to our mayor because he is a great leader for our city. We're talking not only the projects we've talked here, but 3 other legacy projects, a community and senior center within the last year, a destination park, which you saw in the video, Skip Park. That was only 3 years ago. So Mayor, kick it away, but it is just undergirding our entire process.
We're exciting, okay? I think what also, that's a short-lived term, I guess, but we keep moving, okay? We are in a different perspective also, too. We do not have a downtown, okay? Everyone around us has a downtown. The reason being was we were agricultural till that time. We have probably more homeowners associations than anybody around, making that good and bad. But the thing was, any time that we did programming, the community came together. And that's what we're going to accomplish with this new amphitheater. It isn't just about concerts. We, as you know, have blustery winters in Ohio, but we're going to operate that every day of the year. We're planning on over 150 programs that reach every age group. So again, it's also promoting, we also lack right now some small restaurants. We've got that deal worked into that. We're going to get those. So we couldn't have done it, and it isn't about me. I always say that. I have a phenomenal administration, but I have a phenomenal city behind me. Thanks.
And real quick, if you want to hear more about the AMP, that's the project we're going to be talking about at the Festival Ideas after our session. So if you want to have any more. But thank you so much for allowing us to present.
Thank you, Stowe. Congratulations. That was awesome. Welcome.
Cue the video.
Wichita is slightly off-center, which is what makes it fun. Swim with otters, climb, play, and dream big in the air capital of the world. Watch fire dance across the sky at the keeper of the plains, and step into experiences that aren't behind glass. It's easy to get here, but leaving, that's a different story. Always unexpected, always welcoming. Find yourself slightly off-center in Wichita.
And now, from the air capital of the world, Que Pasa. With a metro population of over 660,000 and over a quarter of our resident Spanish speakers, we strive to bring you news about the many ways our community comes together to shape our city, serve our residents, and make sure everyone has a voice. Brought to you by the Kansas Leadership Center, mobilizing everyday residents to get civically involved through training and resources. And the Coalition to End Homelessness, a group of local businesses, service providers, government, and formerly homeless individuals that help shape and fund homeless services. And Polco, conducting the city's annual survey, which directly helps inform the city's budget, programs, and ordinance changes. And the Future Ready Centers, a collaborative program run by Wichita Public Schools and Wichita State University Tech, made possible through funding from local government and private organizations, helping students get degrees and be prepared for the workforce. This is your community and your broadcast. Welcome to Que Pasa.
Buenos dias and welcome back to Que Pasa Wichita. We've been serving Wichita since 2020 to expand, reach Wichita Hispanic-speaking residents who make almost a quarter of our city.
En nuestra ciudad, Wichita, we're tackling the same challenges as other comunidades: homelessness, encouraging community engagement, and civic education. Today, our team will highlight 3 projects: addressing homelessness, finding bottom-up solutions, and encouraging civic education. You can find us sharing information on radio and TV, at 6 monthly district advisory board meetings, at over 35 city boards, or more than 90 more neighborhood associations.
Our first story, our primera historia, looks at an issue impacting families across Wichita. Let's go to our housing director, Sally Stain.
Thank you, Carolina. Homelessness is challenging communities across the country. Let's get into that with council members Joseph Shepard and Maggie Ballard. Joseph, tell us about your experience.
I experienced homelessness growing up, and so I'm very passionate about making sure that we have items like the municipal ID, which gives anyone in our community a valid ID that they can use to receive services or gain employment. More than 2,200 IDs have been issued in the last 10 months. Maggie?
Thank you, Joseph. I'm also proud of our Wichita Police Department Homeless Outreach Team, which directly affects our unhoused residents' Connect to Services. They've housed at least 100 people every year for the past 10 years. Our annual city survey shows homelessness is a top priority, which is why we've invested over $30 million in homeless services in recent years. Back to you, Sally.
Thank you, Maggie. We also have with us Kent Miracle and James Roberts. Kent serves on the board of our homeless service campus, Second Light, and James facilitated our homelessness task force. Kent, can you tell us why you're so passionate about homelessness?
I will never forget the hopelessness I felt when I was homeless. That's why today I'm so grateful there were so many people that could come together and help me. And I sit on the board of Second Light and the Coalition to End Homelessness, so I can help people just like people helped me.
Thank you for sharing, Kent. And James, can you tell us how Second Light came to be?
Second Light is a public-private partnership that blends governance, funding, and services among many stakeholders on one campus. It provides 100 beds for men, 50 beds for women, and during the emergency winter season, it can accommodate 400 people to keep them safe from dangerous weather. Second Light has more than a dozen partners working on the campus today, and it's a critical part of our community's work to achieve functional zero homelessness.
Thank you, James. In summary, the City of Wichita started with federal housing funds, collaborated with multiple partners to create Second Light, but we're not done yet. We're currently constructing non-congregate shelter and permanent supportive housing on the site, but we couldn't have done it alone.
Gracias, Sally. We all know homelessness doesn't just impact adults. Let's go to Community Service Representative Teresa Vizzi, who sat down with a local leader working to help our children.
The well-being of our children impacts our entire community. I'm here with Jay Hedrick from Gathered Strong Sedgwick County, a grassroots initiative that trains, supports, and brings together organizations to help vulnerable children and families. Jay?
Thanks, Teresa. This is personal to me. I grew up in poverty but worked hard to make a better life. Now I give back by convening Gathered Strong Sedgwick County. The number of local kids living in foster care has increased by over 50% during the last decade. But for a big challenge like this, Wichita still believes that the community is the answer. Over 75 community-based organizations have stepped up to increase their services for vulnerable children and families. And it's not just the professionals. More than 1,200 needs have been met by everyday local citizens and faith communities through our local care portal with an estimated economic impact of $1.7 million.
Thanks, Jay. Another aspect of bottom-up solutions is Wichita's effort to strengthen families through safe and affordable housing, and our leaders are stepping up with solutions. Let's go to Councilmember Mike Hoheisel.
Thanks, Teresa. I'm here with Kevis Harding, a former police officer and current pastor, community advocate, and director of Hope Community Development, which addresses some of the issues that are being felt for communities all across America, ensuring everybody has a home.
Thanks, Mike. My passion is affordable housing. And through our nonprofit, Hope Community Development Corporation, Hope CDC, we have built 50 homes, and we are on track to build 300 more new homes in our community for our homelessness. But we could not do it alone. It takes teamwork, and we're so grateful for the work that we're doing as a team and the collaboration in our community.
What does that collaboration look like?
It consists of businesses, it consists of nonprofits, it consists of partnershiping with the city of Wichita. It consists of an ecosystem of other nonprofits who surround all of our participants who are moving into our homes, from leasing to first-time homeowners. It's affordability, and that's the mission of our city.
It's not about construction, it's about connection. I'm also here with Joe Woodward, who's director of Stand Together. Joe, tell us a little bit about the vision behind your work.
Thanks, Mike. Stand Together is a community of business leaders doing work all across the country to expand opportunity. And we've decided to bet big on Wichita because we believe the momentum you're hearing about today could be a model for the American dream. You see it in partners such as Kevis and Jay, two key leaders in a movement of more than 100 organizations who are working together to provide support from community to help people transform their lives. And Mike, it's working, brother. In just the last 18 months, we've seen a more than 14% increase in self-reported well-being from hundreds of our most vulnerable residents working hard to achieve their American dream.
Thank you all for continuing this collaboration, which strengthens our civic health. And now, El Clima, our weather with Councilmember Joseph Shepard.
Thanks so much, Anna. The outlook in Wichita is sunny. There's a strong chance of over 500 informed citizens as a warm front of civic engagement is blowing through our city. We're recruiting residents to engage with our 9-week program, giving them a more in-depth look into government and how they can get more involved. This civic engagement warm front has been moving in since 2018, resulting in a deluge of community impact, graduates such as community cleanups, more city board applications, and more. Anna, back over to you.
Gracias, Joseph. Now let's go to Vice Mayor Dalton Glasscock with sports.
The school year is over, but our recruiting season is in full swing. Wichita's top prospects are being called up to the Mayor's Youth Council, where they tackle community challenges, strengthen their leadership skills, and learn how to build community. It's a strong bench-building program for our community. Since 2008, more than 450 students have taken part in the Mayor's Youth Council. As a former recruit myself, I can tell you it's one of the strongest bench-building programs in our community.
Ahora con nosotros is Mayor Lily Wu. Mayor, you've been focused on helping define the role of government and other community entities to restore trust in City Hall.
Es correcto, Carolina.
we realized many residents don't understand local government or how their voice can be heard. So we created this City Government Palm Card, which shows the budget, how to report an issue, and helps demystify local government. More than 10,000 of these palm cards have been distributed so far, and we're already seeing more people engage with the council. And to celebrate America's 250th anniversary, the Kansas Leadership Center and libraries created this Civic Action Passport to spark community participation. When people understand how their government works, they're empowered to be part of the solution.
Mayor, para ti, this work is personal.
Sí, Carolina, es muy personal. As a former journalist who reported on local government, I was disappointed how many people misunderstand local government. By strengthening our efforts to educate, we strengthen our community's understanding and ability to engage.
Wichita is demonstrating ways to build trust, which starts with individuals, from familias to faith groups, from business leaders to city officials. Lasting change doesn't come from any one place. It comes from all of us, as Wichitans, as Kansans, as Americans.
Thanks for joining us. That's it from Que Pasa, Wichita.
Great job. Great job, Wichita.
Hi, great job. Man, you guys are doing a lot, and it's so much to like about your presentation. Thank you so much. And particularly, I wasn't even going to mention the palm cards, but one of the reasons why I love those is because far too often that method of communication is only used around elections, right? And we see too much of the civic conversation to the election cycle. And so I love that that's part of your ongoing engagement. So that's really, really great. I have a question that's probably for our city council member. I was really struck at the level of transparency that you all have with your city. I mean, people say transparent, but like the vote on the city council travel, I was like, oh my God. And particularly the way that you structured or restructured the city council public comment and to encourage a culture of deliberation. I really love that because I think we just as a country really have to get back to a point of being able to constructively disagree. You know, yeah, we do. We have to get. Can you talk a little bit about like what that process has been like?
So
Thank you very much for that question. I want to first start off by thanking several of our partners who are here. The president of Wichita State University is here. We have a young student from Andover, our greater Wichita area here, and a business person from our community in the audience. I want to tell you that this council is made up of 7 individuals. And we know that the trust in communities has been going down across America. And also the polarization of our country has also increased this distrust. So our council has been committed to restoring trust in City Hall. And that starts with having a voice at the table. But if you don't even know how the system works, you can't have the proper voice to have the proper solution. So these palm cards, along with a council that is highly and actively engaged, is the reason why you're seeing more of that trust coming back into City Hall. Some numbers to show you. The Polco survey in 2018 showed 44% of people trusted local government. It sharply declined in 2023 to 27%. But it's slowly coming back up. In 2024, that number was 37%.
In your application, you talk about a free training video for residents and business owners on how to interact with people experiencing homelessness. I'm wondering, how are you getting that video out to people? And then what impact in terms of like public perception has that video had with folks?
Thank you for the question. Through our homelessness task force, so we brought together people from all sectors of the community, residents, businesses, people experiencing homelessness, people from the faith community, every corner for this homeless task force. And one of the prime things that came out was people needed to understand how complex homelessness is. The video was developed, and it was put out through social media channels, through public meetings. We provided it to nonprofits so that their frontline staff would know just how to engage with someone on that personal level. And we had some great results, and it really helps us build that trust with the people we're trying to serve.
Thank you, Wichita. I have visited and very much enjoyed my time there. You mentioned the polarization of our country and how locally you have to combat that to build civic trust, and there's so many initiatives here that are building civic capital. And so I guess today I'm like the t-shirt guy, because I'm gonna ask another question about the t-shirts, because you have Wichita and America 250 on there. With all this civic trust and capital you've built up, is there a shared notion of America 250 that you've been able to come up with in Wichita?
I want to say thank you to many of our partners, Visit Wichita being one of them. They're one of the partners that helped us create the Wichita250.org website. We really want to encourage people to go to that website and see all the various events. It really does start with your own community as neighbors. As you heard this community talk, we're Wichitans, we're Kansans, we're Americans, and we're proud to celebrate America's 250th anniversary. As a first-generation immigrant who immigrated to Wichita from Guatemala and of Chinese descent, I can tell you the American dream is possible in Wichita because community members really believe that everyone has the potential to reach their full potential in the heart of America. And so I'm very proud of our community of Wichita, Kansas.
Thank you so much, Wichita. My question actually builds off of the powerful statement that you just made, which is about your Wichita City ID. I am so intrigued by that, both as a measure for combating homelessness, but also I could imagine when it comes to undocumented or mixed documentation people. Could you share more about the process of creating that? Did you learn about that from other cities? Has anyone followed in your lead? This feels like a very big deal that maybe something we should all be paying attention to. Thanks.
Thank you so much for the question. Yes, we did learn from other communities. We saw it as a barrier for not just people experiencing homelessness, but anybody in our community who was challenged to have an identification. We have staff in our municipal courts, in our housing department, and soon are issuing municipal IDs right at Second Light for those who need it. We ask the question right on the application. We try to make it as easy as possible. We have kiosks. We also it can be filled out online and then brought documentation in, but we ask, why is it that you need a municipal ID? And then the answers vary. Some are for housing. They are I-9 compliant. People can get jobs. Some were just like, I just want a Wichita ID. But over 2,200 in the first 10 months, which really outpaced our expectations. Thank you.
Thank you for that. I really appreciate the ID thing too. I think that's a really cool idea. My question is actually just about the Youth Council and if there's any specific projects you wanted to highlight and kind of where you see it going in the future.
Well, I think it's built up since I was in 2008, and so I'm lucky to be the first council person to have served on the council. One thing that we recently did, as Councilmember Shepard led this initiative, but that we gave every single district advisory board, all city council districts have a district advisory board, and each one is now required to have a youth member as part of the district advisory board. And so we increased the number from 11 to 13 as a requirement to have a youth representative, and we feel that's the best way. Make sure that they don't we're not talking the talk, we're actually walking the walk, and we're giving them a seat at the table, and I think that we're doing that in Wichita. And hopefully, I'm replaced pretty quick as the youngest member. I would love to have that title taken away.
Well, first of all, Mayor, let me recognize excellence. Y'all are a 5-time All-American City winner. That is impressive all in itself. And y'all are doing absolutely amazing things. My man, I'm coming to you. The bottom-up solution, very impressive. And again, the fact that you've built 50, you have plans to build 300 permanent houses, and I want to get in the weeds a little bit here. Because a lot of times our communities, when we have these ambitious goals and you want to build affordable housing or you want to build permanent housing to help people reach that dream, you get pushback. Are you doing it, what's the strategy? Are you doing it as a planned unit development? Like, are you building entire neighborhoods, or are you finding development and redevelopment opportunities in pre-existing neighborhoods? And are you being embraced by the community with that strategy?
Yes to all of that, but I will say this. Our locus is what we consider 67214, which is where I was born and raised and where I actually patrolled as a police officer. And so we focused on 67214 and the surrounding zip codes. 67214 in the state of Kansas is a poor zip code in the state of Kansas. Not the city, but the state. And so within that zip code, we are going back in with businesses and other nonprofits such as Prime Craftsman's Home, which we are now bringing in modular homes. And we're also working with with Kansas Health Foundation, along with Stand Together, where we come together. We identify within that area that I grew up in, 1533 North Pike is where I grew up. In that same area where we're going in to buy the infields, and we buy communities, we buy blocks, and we build homes. We do from remodeling. We've bought from the city. That's why we're in partnership with the city. We bought so far as 25 from the city now, where we're bringing in those people in that community, and then also down south, in the south part of Wichita, where we are working now, where we're bringing in a lot of our refugees who came from the war, who are in our city, and we're now housing even our refugees who are coming from different countries in our community.
Wichita, great to see you. Thank you. you, thank you, thank you. What a gift. You may be last, but certainly not least. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Are you
Woodburn
ready
is
to
so
begin?
Ready. We're ready. Please play our video.
What makes a community a community? Is it the buildings, the streets, the businesses? Or is it the people behind them, each with a story that weaves into something bigger? All of our lives are an echo of the past, reflecting those who came before us and paving the way for others to follow. We're a reflection of that courage, those who risk everything for a chance at a better life. Their spirit lives on in every storefront, in every handshake, in every step forward. In Woodburn, our community is shaped by that echo, by the dreamers and the doers who infused every corner with grit, grace, and hope, and of immigrants and first-generation entrepreneurs, and those of us that have been here for multiple generations whose journey built more than a business, a family, and a story. Woodburn is a story of building belonging. Our story is more than just revitalization of our historic downtown. It's a testament that love is stronger than hate. It's about strengthening civic life, investing in our future leaders, and building trust through community partnerships, of civic engagement, and the principles of living democracy. It's a revival of purpose and possibility. These are the voices of Woodburn. This is the American dream, and Woodburn is an all-American city.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to share our story of Woodburn, a city we proudly call a city of unity, a city that I'm so honored to serve as mayor, a city that long before Woodburn was incorporated in 1889, the Willamette Valley was home to the Kalapua people, a group of nearly 20 tribes and bands that spoke 3 distinct languages. That rich heritage lives on as Woodburn remains one of Oregon's most diverse and dynamic cities. Nearly 60% of our residents speak a language other than English at home, and 95% of our downtown businesses are Latino-owned. At 30,000 residents, we are projected to be the fastest growing community in Oregon over the next 5 years. We are the City of Unity.
Good morning, and I am proud to be the director of our local Small Business Development Center and a member of our regional North Marion Tourism Collaborative and Business Services Alliance, formed in response to needs during the pandemic, with a simple framing question: how can we better support local businesses, build civic trust and belonging, and increase decision-making opportunities? Today, that commitment has now grown to serve 10 of our regional communities, working to connect small businesses with trusted partners, multilingual technical assistance, and convening spaces. The American Dream series you just watched highlights the diverse faces of our local businesses and reflects the Alliance's work to tell the stories of immigrant families and entrepreneurs and longtime business owners. It helps turn community voices into the public narrative.
Buenos dias. I am honored to serve as the Dean of the Chemekera Community College Woodburn Center, a member of the Farm Worker Housing Development Board, and a dedicated community builder who also teaches salsa, cumbia, and bachata dance classes. At our college, it is the only class that holds the final exam as a nightclub. Look at the rhythm of our community. Café Pan Dulce, a vibrant bilingual gathering where business owners connect over coffee and sweet bread and share resources. Downtown policy and Chamber of Commerce meetings, empowering local businesses to advocate and bring community needs to city leaders in real time. Radio Poder, weekly broadcast, reaching over 300,000 people annually, way beyond our city, for announcements, information, and outreach in a culturally and linguistically relevant format. These are just a few examples of how Woodburn works to meet people where they are, in the languages they speak, and in the spaces they already gather. When residents see themselves reflected in civic storytelling, they develop a strong sense of belonging, and our community thrives.
I am a dedicated community organizer and social service provider. Woodburn is proudly multicultural with Spanish, Russian, Ukrainian, and indigenous languages still spoken today. Civic engagement and service only works when everyone has a seat at the table and a voice that is heard. Sometimes that means redesigning the table or not having a table at all. A powerful example of this is the Woodburn Family Resource Center. Social service providers asked city leadership to create a space for services in our small community instead of expecting our residents to travel long distances. So the city helped purchase a building to be repurposed into the Family Resource Center, where 7 nonprofits are now housed under one roof as a one-stop resource center for Woodburn and surrounding community. Today, the facility houses organizations that support human trafficking survivors, domestic violence survivors, housing stability, and other support services. In 2025 alone, over 250 children were served at Liberty House, and over 2,000 individuals were served at this center.
I'm honored and proud to serve as the superintendent for the Woodburn School District. In Woodburn's collaborative approach, the school district, nonprofits, law enforcement, and faith-based organizations regularly convene with the city to address issues facing our community, including those impacting our youth. Through this collaboration, we created the first ever community outreach and education coordinator position to support positive outcomes for youth and families. In 2025, that led to over 289 hours of youth and parent education and served an additional 190 students in after-school programming. We also developed our newest programs, a teen court that offers youth accountability and mentorship, and community career days, creating real-time career pathways there in Woodburn. Programs like these have helped us to increase regular school attendance by 8.6%. That's nearly double the statewide average of improvement.
Hello, I am proud to be a representative of the 2025 Fiesta Mexicana Court. The Fiesta Mexicana was created more than 60 years ago to honor and celebrate the farm workers and the end of harvest. This event is now recognized as an Oregon State Heritage Tradition. Fiesta Court is a leadership development program that helps high school juniors and seniors enhance their skills, introduce us to new avenues for learning and growth, and help us inspire the next generation of leaders. In this past year, I have grown as a leader and strengthened my commitment to advocacy and community service, showing that me and my peers can be civic leaders and influence policy and decision-making in the place we call home. To date, this program has also helped over 100 youth with college scholarships.
I'm honored to serve as a Woodburn City Councilor. In Woodburn, placemaking is a community effort. Our advisory groups, artists, tourism partners, historians, local businesses, and the community nominate designs for our murals, sculptures, gathering spaces, and cultural landmarks to ensure they are vibrant, welcoming, and rooted in our community identity. In just 5 years, we've installed more than 12 community-nominated art pieces created by local artists. From our Zócalo Public Square to our colorful mural walls, we are working with community members to highlight the culture, places, and people that make Woodburn their home.
Each year, for the past 30 years, a high school science teacher, Mr. Eddington, has led us on local excavations where bones, fossils, and pieces of Woodburn's natural history are discovered, including the largest bison skeleton on the West Coast, right at our high school. Through this project, we learn hands-on science and tech skills, teamwork, and career pathways. In honor of this discovery and hard work, the city has partnered with the school district to install a life-size bison sculpture to remind us that Woodburn's story extends far beyond the people who live here today.
I'm a member of Woodburn Proud, a non-profit dedicated to supporting safety initiatives in Woodburn. As Woodburn honors its past, we are also investing in our future through our region's first ever inclusive playground, designed to remove physical, social, and sensory barriers so children of all abilities can play together. The park will include wheelchair-accessible ramps, specialized swings, sensory panels, and multilingual kiosks to create a welcoming space for children, families, and all generations to gather, connect, and belong.
And I am a pastor of a local church in this community, and together with the community emergency response team, I get to serve as a chaplain for the police and fire department, making sure that they're well taken care of. Woodburn's strength is built when neighbors know one another, when public servants listen, and when every resident trusts they have a place in this community. As a result of our collaborative problem solving, community building, and commitment to heritage and placemaking, we were delighted to be selected to host the 2026 Oregon Heritage State Conference, a celebration across sectors and disciplines, all about celebrating culture, history, and storytelling. That is trust. That is belonging. That is civic health. This is Woodburn. This is the American dream, and we are all American City.
Wow, Woodburn. Wow. You are doing such amazing things and amazing. This has just been a wonderful way to end our 2 days. We're going to have a few questions for you, but I'm kind of wrapping my head around everything you're doing. It's amazing. Who would like to go? Okay.
I just want to tell you that was fantastic. You know, when this started, they asked me to introduce myself and I said then, if America could see what we've seen in the last 20 presentations, our country would be a better country. And I'd like to ask you, Mr. Mayor, you know, we've all been down the road. This is never an easy road, and where you're at today of celebrating, but give us some insight. What's the challenges that exist in Woodburn that you're working on for the future?
The challenges certainly are, thank you for the question, but certainly the fast growth that we're going through right now, meaning that if we keep up with the infrastructure, transportation in and out, we're doing it smart, where we're doing not only residential, but industrial and commercial. So we're getting jobs there. But other challenges are trying to get our kids to come back to Woodburn. We're training them to be leaders. They're going out and getting good educations. But like we've said, they are the next generation. Currently, one of the big challenges, I have to say, is federal agents that visit the community periodically. And that's a complication sometimes.
Thank you so much for that presentation. It was excellent. And I echo, if everybody could see this, I think we would have such a better feeling about where we are as a country. I thought there was a typo when I read it, but then you guys reiterated the stat that 95% of your downtown businesses are minority owned, which is incredible. And 60% of your population, yes, it's incredible. And 60% of your population is non-English speaking. So how do you how does that translate to when you are training people in the future pipeline of leaders, when you're engaging people for civic leadership? What kind of services do you provide, and what does that look like in terms of the linguists? Are there barriers? How do you handle that?
So, as you said, 95% Latino owned, so there's got to be a communication barrier, correct? But Woodburn is not into checking off boxes, we're into taking action. So Woodburn has all of its communication goes out in Spanish, English, and Russian. Because 95% is Latino owned in our downtown, we have monthly meetings with them, and these meetings are interpreted into Spanish. So we communicate with them. We also bring other resources like LBA that Matt can speak into. But everything that we do is with intention. Our form of communication is all languages that we can, as much as we can. In our communication through the city, it's English, Spanish, Russian. Social media, English, Spanish, Russian. At our municipal court, there's always a Spanish interpreter available. So it's not just checking off a box, it's creating a bridge that unites us together.
Yeah, thanks,
Brenda. The final piece is with the Small Business Development Center and the trainings we do, I make sure we have Spanish language advisors. So they're not only people that speak the language, but they're of their cultural group as well. So I have 2 Latino advisors that handle the Woodburn area. And as well, we work with the Latino Business Alliance to have the Café Pan Dulce, where you actually have to introduce yourself as a business in both English and in Spanish, regardless of your language. And they have some prompts so you can practice learning both languages. So we make sure that that engagement is always there. And that happens 2 times a month, once in Woodburn and once just in our neighbor town of Salem, to give people opportunity. So.
And I would like to add, I'm Irene Konev, and I have ancestry from both Russia and Ukraine. And because of Woodburn's ability to be so inclusive and so engaging, the new arrivals from Ukraine, many of them have made Woodburn their home because of this inclusivity. And I'm such a proud person to have been born there, and we have a long history of having a good place for the Eastern European community to live.
And at the college, we have English and classes, ESL classes, English as a second language classes. We also offer GED classes in Spanish and citizenship classes to make sure that our community is integrating and be part of our population in Woodburn.
And I'll add just one addition to that question, because I was talking about the pipeline. In our schools, we're very proud to have dual language programs in English and Spanish and Russian. So most of our graduates are earning the state seal of biliteracy. We actually lead the state of Oregon in the number of students who graduate earning the seal of biliteracy or multiliteracy. So we're really proud of that. And so we are growing our future generation of multilingual learners there in our community.
Thank you all so much for this presentation. I mean, all the cities, have really demonstrated a lot of civic character and strength, but it's remarkable to see how, the robustness of the community that you all bring, which is a testament to the work that you're all doing, I think. I wanted to ask about this Family Resource Center, because this seems very smart to me, in the sense of it's a subsidized program, but what you're doing is not subsidizing the programs directly, but you're bringing together organizations that are serving the communities. And so you mentioned some of the impact on the people. But I'm curious about the service providers themselves, the positive externalities associated with that. I imagine some of these are groups that maybe worked together before, and some of them maybe didn't, and some of them probably had no idea these existed until they all got put under one roof. Curious if there's any interesting stories on that margin or anecdotes.
Yes, thank you for asking that. One thing I wanted to highlight is, for example, one of our service centers is a sobriety center. And one thing that they've done very uniquely to draw the community into their detox centers is to have the community the staff reflect the community that they serve. And additionally, looking at what are some primary barriers to people getting into sobriety. And one of them was culturally specific food. And so they provide that, and that really helps with the retention of someone staying the full 7 days of detox. It might seem like a small thing, but it's so huge.
That is a perfect example. That's really fascinating. Thank you.
And I'm a board member and volunteer at one of the nonprofits who is a tenant at the Family Resource Center. And something very rewarding is the fact we talk to each other and we interact with each other and we share our clients according to their needs. I had the blessing of talking to a young woman who came in for some toiletries and cleaning supplies and found out that she was fleeing a domestic violence situation. I could walk her next door to the Center for Hope and Safety and knock on the door, be sure someone was there to help her, and they let her in and they helped her. I also had the blessing of meeting a lady who escaped from her trafficker with the clothes on her back, ended up at the Center for Hope and Safety, and they brought her over so I could give her a few changes of clothes and some things to clean up with. That is just a blessing. That's what a quality community does.
Woodburn, thank you for embodying the idea that you declared on stage, a city of unity. I think one reason I've been so moved over the last couple days is for my entire career, I've been fighting for an idea of America where we embrace our differences, and we're able to build great things in our communities together because of those differences. And when you talk about unity, it's not a hollow unity. It's not like you're papering over your differences. You're seeing the best in each other to build something new. And that is so special. And so my question is about that. You have so much diversity in your community. That's why building unity is not easy. One of my mentors likes to say that bridge building is not rocket science. It's much harder than that. You have more than 30 unique languages spoken in your local school district. What's the civic creed that is able to unite people across all those differences that's allowed you to declare yourself a city of unity?
We have probably 30 nonprofits that we work with in Woodburn, and a council that works very closely with them. We don't have, I wouldn't say we have any politicians on our council, myself included. We have over 300 years of life experience of people that have lived in Woodburn that are giving back to Woodburn. And that is working with these groups that make Woodburn stronger. A good example, 5 years ago, we had a very unfortunate incident where an arsonist burnt down our food bank. Totally burnt down. It was a 100-year-old building that was housing farm structure back in the day. But the city got together, working with the county. We came up with over $1 million, got the county to meet some, built a much better food bank that was there. Where now it's not just a takeout, it's a grocery store shopping experience where we serve about 150 people 3 times a day, 300, that many visitors in a week. So it's everybody caring, really, and not just one group, not just the city, it's a school, a chamber, all working together that really gives that back to the people and make them want to give more. So, thank you.
To add to that, Woodburn meets its community where they gather. So, like Mayor said, at schools, where they go for church, nonprofits, we meet them where they're at, we listen.
Woodburn, thank you for closing out All America City competition. Couldn't have thought of a better way to end the day. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We're very honored to close out. We want to give a shout out to our family members back home that are watching on this, that have been very helpful in Woodburn.
We love you, Jesse.